behind and join her in Seattle for good. I'd been living there for 2 weeks now, and I was finally starting to find my footing. Our tiny 2-bedroom apartment wasn't anything spectacular, but we somehow managed to make it feel like a home. And I even lucked out and found work as a barista at a coffee shop just blocks from our place. It paid well enough, offered benefits, and I actually enjoyed what I did and the people I worked with. Things were finally looking up for the first time in a really long time. So when Corinne came home earlier that day, nearly hysterical with excitement at having landed an invite to an uber-exclusive party in Clyde Hill, I'd, rather stupidly, let her enthusiasm infect me and agreed to tag along. It had taken less than 2 minutes for me to regret that decision. "How did you even get us into this party anyway?" I shouted over the deafening guitar riff coming from the surround sound speakers. "Best I don't tell you," she yelled back, her eyes on the mayhem taking place all around us. "Deniable plausibility. It's for your own good." My eyes bulged out of my head at the scene unfolding before me. Jesus! Did that guy just snort a line of coke off that chick's boobs? That's rock and roll for you. Corinne laughed like it was just another normal, everyday occurrence for us to witness drug use and sexual debauchery up close and personal. The evening was anything but normal. I felt like I'd just fallen down the rabbit hole and straight into the den of iniquity. I cannot believe I'm standing in a house owned by one of the members of civil corruption. She let out an ecstatic squeak of delight. Meanwhile, I felt more and more out of place with every passing moment. Civil Corruption was Corinne's all-time favorite band, and judging from the number of people crammed into the obscenely large house, and the fact that I recognized at least a quarter of them from TV and celeb magazines, they were far more popular than I'd imagined. Then again, I'd never been a fan of rock music. I'd always leaned more toward top 40, to my best friend's detriment. Corey had tried to get me to listen to their music countless times. It just wasn't my thing. Sure, I'd heard them talked about on the radio and television countless times, and I'd seen the guys in the band plastered on the cover of the magazines that lined my checkout stands when I worked at the grocery store in Idaho. But other than that, they'd never really been on my radar. "What do you think the odds are that I can hook up with Deck tonight?" I turned away from the writhing orgy taking place in the living room, or what was damn close to becoming a writhing orgy, and quirked an eyebrow at my best friend. "Who?" "Oh my God!" she shouted, rolling her eyes in exasperation. "Declan Forrester? Lead singer of Civil Corruption. Christ, Gwen, it's like you live under a rock, I swear." "Sorry," I shrugged, not feeling sorry in the slightest. Corey stood on her tiptoes and scanned the ever-growing crowd. "I'm going to see if I can find him and make my move. You coming with?" I was more than comfortable in my current spot, holding up one of the walls. The corner we were tucked into was one of the only spaces in the room where I wasn't constantly being jostled or stepped on. I was hard-pressed to leave its cozy confines. "Pass," I called out, "but you go do your thing. Text me if you get lucky, and I'll catch a cab home or something." Her forehead wrinkled in concern, and I could see the indecision warring in her blue eyes. She was worried about me. Hell, worry had been her constant emotional state since I arrived in Seattle a couple weeks ago. She knew exactly how much I'd been struggling, how much pain I'd been carrying around, and she wanted to do everything in her power to make it better for me. I loved her for it, but the helicopter routine was getting really freaking annoying. "Go," I insisted. "I don't know," she hemmed and hawed, chewing on her bottom lip. "I don't want to leave you by yourself." "I'm serious. I'll be fine on my own for a bit. I think I need to get some air anyway. You can't hover over me 24/7.